Yes, everyone, welcome to an episode of the Brown Munde. We're gonna try and keep it. What's the word, Aki? We're gonna try and keep it.
Short and
Not
simple.
short and simple, but we know we're gonna keep it. Not not the Haram United version because we want to be fair on both sides. But yeah, another episode of obviously welcome to Manchester United and the saga that is Manchester United. Aki, some news on Šeško to begin with.
Um, you know what? For him to come in and if he gets over the line, I'll be happy. Straight up.
It surely has to come over the line
Yeah.
now. Even Ineos, well, I say even Ineos, they won't mess this up.
No. I know. Cause you know what it is the way I see it is from all the signings. I think we had a chat on the group as well. From all the
Mm.
signings that Innis have bought in, the two that I'll be impressed with is Joro and Benjamin Šeško.
Just go. Why is that? Why them two rather than the others that
Because
come through?
the way I see Lenny Yoro, the way we kind of managed to bring him in last season, where
Mm.
Madrid were on his case, they saw it as a more of a Varane kind of version.
Hmm.
Whereas the way we saw it was we missed out on Varane, and then they managed to obviously bring in um we basically bought Varane afterwards. So we saw his later years, not his best years, if that makes
Yeah, yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah,
Whereas I
yeah.
think develop Euro to be the best years out of him from a young age to all the way to like 28, 29, then we can sell him on for a lot of money as well, I think.
So you're
But
saying obviously the talent wise, I don't want to say generational talent, although that's what was being used last
yeah,
year. But you just feel the he's one of the best, in his position, so they had to
yeah. But
go
I
and grab
think
him.
I think for his age, he
Mm.
is one of the best. Probably is the
Yeah.
best for his age. But I think in the next couple of years, we just have to see development because the way we see United is it goes downhill. So I think,
Yeah, I think as a talent, I think it's there. I think him playing in a back four, that's what he
mm,
was signed to do in a back four, but now he plays in a back three, so he's the right of the back three. So you've got the centre, then he's on the right hand side, and then Luke
mm,
Shaw's been playing on the left on that. So yeah, I think there'll be that as well. But the cost that double paid than what Real Madrid were offering, and obviously we don't know the wages. But yeah, look, in terms of a player we definitely signed a player. And I remember last year with that one, we kind of went quite early with him.
yeah, we did.
There
Yeah.
was news, I think, even in the winter period, but obviously down the summer we went early for him. With the Benjamin Šeško one, and I've mentioned it, I've tweeted it before. I've been talking about him since 2021, 2022, and I know you've been
Mm,
talking about him for a while as well. But for me, with him, it's like who's fourth, fifth choice?
I know. This
I
is
I
what.
mean, this is the bit I don't get. So we went for Delap. No, that was 30 million.
Mm,
So I kind of get that. Okay. But then after that, they went for Gyökeres. That didn't happen. Ekatike. Okay. Then it was a flip between Watkins or Sheshko.
so yeah.
And what I think from again going by reports because that's what any of us only can do because we're never in those boardrooms. But again, from credible sources, that it was Jason Wilcox or Amorim. I think it was more Amorim. They were saying that was wanting Watkins, Premier League proven.
Yeah.
Whereas head of recruitment, Christian Vival,
Well,
he was going for Benjamin Šeško. He'd known him for a long time. So that aspect to me, and then the money that we were going to spend on him, which is I think if you put it into pounds, 75 million pounds, and then add-ons. So roughly might be an 80 million pound package, or just below. But
mm,
that for a fourth, fifth choice that's what kind of alarmed me because I thought, well, if you believed in him so much
yeah.
after the Dilat one, why didn't you go
Yeah.
straight for him?
Yeah.
Because they went for Mbuemo and things like that.
You know what's funny, Hobbs, is Sesko was Arsenal's first choice striker
Yep.
for transfer.
Hmm.
And for Arsenal being in a position where they just need, for me, in my opinion, just need a number nine to probably challenge and win the title, I think it tells you a lot more than what Arsenal thought of Benjamin Sesko. Like he is the guy to deliver us that title. But then because they couldn't get the agreement done, and now they've hit back and gone for Goikarez, I think that's another telling as well. Thinking, okay, he's not our first choice, but second choice, maybe yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit bizarre, and how they went for him
Mm,
first. So, let's be honest, a club that's well in front of us in terms
mm,
of trying to challenge for the title, they went for Sheshko first before they went for Gyökeres.
mm.
I don't know. Again, I don't know how much they've paid for Gyökeres or how much we'll end up paying, but it doesn't seem like there's going to be much of a difference.
No, no,
Yes,
no,
be a little bit more for Šeško, but
no.
nothing to write home about.
I
Maybe
think I think if you ask me between the two of them, between both of them, who I'd want, I'd easily say Sesko.
100%. I was the same. I didn't
Yeah,
want Gyökeres at United.
yeah, yeah,
I was the same. Šeško all day long. So, let's just before we move on. I think as per the signings, me personally, and I was last year. I think I gave it 8 out of 10 last year. Summer signings. So even this year, we've got Mbuemo, got Cunha. The Premier League proven. I like them. I don't
yeah,
know where they're going to take us. I'll be honest with you.
yeah.
Would they be my first choice? Maybe not. I don't know, but they're good signings.
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin Šeško, I think.
Mm.
We've just been saying, he looks like a great talent, and I'm sure he'll do okay. But again, Manchester United, you never know until they turn up here, man. But I think still, and I've been saying it in the groups as well. I think we will make signings, but I think we'll make two more signings this summer. I
Yeah,
think a
I,
midfielder and a goalkeeper.
yeah. I think you know what you were right, Harps. I think 'cause remember I think a couple of weeks or months ago when you said that we're not broken, I put it out at there that we probably are. I
Mm.
think the Athletics article today, was it from Ornstein and Laurie? I'm not too sure. That explained it properly in terms of the
I think it's
way.
Crutchley, one of the others. It wasn't even from
Yeah,
them.
I'm not too
One of
sure,
their other
but
ones. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but the way they explained it from the PSR view to Red Football Limited to everything else,
Mm.
now I understand it in terms of where the money's coming from what year, from what side as well, even the selling clauses and everything. Now, and I know the last time I mentioned that I think the window might be closed for us. I think if we do sign Sesko, I think we will end up getting a midfielder
Mm.
from the financial side as well. But it depends on who the midfielder is, and I can't see it going for Baleba. I think that's just what the fans
I think we
want.
can,
But
I,
are we actually linked to him though? That's the thing.
I've not seen any links.
Mm.
But then, yeah, I always say I've stopped scouting players many years ago because every time I
Yeah,
thought, yeah, this player's going to come in and do
yeah.
well, and they never did, and I just gave up for Ratcliffe
Mm.
because I couldn't give a shit,
Yeah,
anywhere else.
I think for me the rabbit out of the hat signing would be Baleba. Yeah,
Mm, mm.
but I think in terms of a realistic signing, I'm not too sure who that could be.
Yeah, I think while I was on Spaces earlier this morning, was I think
Mm.
somebody said Amadou Diarra as well from Villa,
No, I don't think he leaves.
because
I don't think he leaves.
Villa want Garnacho maybe. Yeah, I think he only went there last year, didn't he? So I
No,
can't
but
see him leaving. So
yeah, but Ornstein mentioned today that Chelsea have open talks with Garnacho.
I think they already have talks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think they've been talking to his camp for a while. I
yeah,
think he
yeah,
probably wants to go there, but they've got to bring something to the party, I suppose. So,
yeah,
United might say if we're going for a
mm,
Diarra or a Villa player, you
yeah,
might say,
yeah,
well, Garnacho, you're gonna have to go there
yeah.
if Chelsea are going to come and play.
You know, last summer you rated United's window at 8 out of 10, didn't you?
Yeah,
Um, if you were to put in, was that the ins and outs or just the ins?
the ins.
Ins.
The way I looked at it was who's going to be available for us to play on the pitch
Mm,
and do the job. Now, the whole transfer business, getting players in and out, the best in class. Yeah, I think they're shocking. I think they're even worse this year than they were
mm,
last year.
mm.
If that's the question you're asking me,
No,
if
no. I
are
mean,
you asking me?
no,
Go on.
no. The question I wanted to ask you was the one that downside about this year would be for me is that realistically we haven't sold anyone. Just let someone go on say on loan. So I think for me there has to be something. There has to be something that isn't working right in the board in the backroom
Yeah.
staff. That's basically saying okay, let's not we can't get rid of them. Either she's a player or they can't even get negotiate a good deal. Like they can probably get the players that we're bringing in, they can probably negotiate the installments, but why can't they do it for the players that want to leave as well?
Well, Aki, I think it's a good segue. Moving on,
Yeah.
and I think we'll tie that in. If I don't, please remind me. Yeah, the 1958, they released a press statement yesterday as well that they are going to do a protest, and I'm going to read it in a minute.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, it's quite convenient when they'd announced that there were also then announcements come out that we've bid for Šeško,
Yeah.
and we are going in for him. So it kind of um, overtook that statement because I've not heard many people
Mm.
talk about that statement. But yeah, let me read it for anybody that hasn't listened or read it themselves. So yeah, 1958, and today's press statement in full. Jim can fix this, quote unquote. United fan group to target Ratcliffe in new wave of Glazer protests. Influential fan group 1958 has announced a big new protest ahead of Manchester United's opening game of the season, for the first time directed at part owner Jim Ratcliffe as well as the hated Glazers. Supporters are being rallied ahead of the Arsenal clash at Old Trafford on August the 17th, so that's going to be the opening game for us. With a new route planned and new banners produced, including Jim Can Fix This, Ratcliffe has been branded a devil in disguise. It's a new season, but the same old ownership issues. 20 years of the Glazers, 20 years too long. Enough is enough. We won't allow some natural optimism and a couple of shiny new signings to deflect from our bigger off-field picture. Jim Ratcliffe chose to get into bed with the Glazers and is helping them in charge, where we've heard that before.
Yeah.
So on August, so 17th of August, we protest not just against the Glazers, but now also against Jim Ratcliffe, a man once seen by many, including ourselves, as a possible saviour, a beacon of hope, but now revealed as a complicit in an ongoing erosion of everything that makes our club what it is. This is no longer just about ownership. This is about survival, the survival of our identity, our community, and our values. Disneyland of the North. The systematic eviction of long-standing fans from the South Stand, some who have held seats for generations, is not just a policy decision, it's an attack on the very soul of Manchester United. These are the people who build the atmosphere, the tradition, and the heartbeat of the club. To cast them aside in favour of sanitised profits and premium experiences is nothing short of disgraceful. The dilution of young supporters, the austerity imposed on loyal club staff, and the push to create Disneyland of the North show exactly where their priorities lie. Not with the fans, not with the community, but with the shareholders, executives, and a global brand that strips the club of its roots. Let it be clear, the vision is not for us. It is not for the fans who travel up and down the country across Europe. It is not for those who stood in the same spot at Old Trafford for decades. It is for profit, pure and simple. The burden of this greed is being forced onto generational fans who are being priced out, pushed out, and ignored. So football is consuming itself. What's happening at Manchester United is a warning to every other club, a calculated attempt to Americans and franchise that the game we love. If this continues, the sport will be left hollow, a commercial product with no soul. Using our club to apparently sound opinion, the reaction to personal seat licenses is another alarm bell, which is about the new stadium. This would further price out the youth, local communities, and generations of loyal fans. It's another step in ripping football away from its working class roots, showing just how out of touch our club owners have become. This isn't about the game or the sport; it's about profit and greed over loyalty and traditions. Not too many left now. No savior. We don't believe a word the club says, as actions speak louder than words, and the actions prove their intentions. We will not be silent. We will not be complicit. Jim Ratcliffe, you have chosen your side, and it's not ours. You now stand shoulder to shoulder with the Glazers. The mask has slipped. You are no savior. You are a devil in disguise. We protest every fan who has been silenced, evicted, priced out, and disregarded. This is bigger than one club. This is about the future of football. To those in our fan base, if the penny hasn't dropped yet, wake up, which that will refer to many. To fans of other clubs, if you're starting to see similar measures being trialed at your club by your owners, you're next. And they finish off saying, remember this, you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. What's being lost isn't just about seats or structures, it's about identity, community, and the moment that make football worth everything. Once that's gone, it will be lost forever. And they finish off with saying more details will follow in the coming days. The 1958. Yeah, so a powerful a statement there. That is what we've been saying for a very long time.
Yeah.
Us and the Brown Munde podcast, and a lot of the people, who we talk with, had the very same opinion that Jim actually helped the Glazers to stay, when they were looking to go. But I don't know. Actually, have you got? It's the reaction's been quite funny, actually.
It has.
Um,
You know what, Hobbs? I've been speaking to Steve um, directly
Mm,
on WhatsApp and obviously in Twitter as well and stuff. And to be honest with you, like he's even mentioned the amount of hate we have. And I think this is where he was trying to get the whole thing of, you know, how we're trying to, no, well, not we, but people are saying, obviously, like empty the stadium, etc. I think this is where Steve was trying to say it's not going to work because the fan base are not even united, and it's one of the reasons why.
mm,
It's not about giving up your tickets or whatever. It's just the fact that the fans are literally against. Like the only people, look, credit where credit due for Steve and then 58 for actually admitting that look, Ratcliffe is part of the cause now. You know what I mean?
mm.
And he even said it on Space. I think last week or so. I'm not too sure. And look, he's been blunt about it as well. Look, we're gonna go for Ratcliffe now. To be honest with you, I think Ratcliffe last season even gave a hint of if I got the same abuse as Glazers, I'm gonna walk away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I think,
and he kind of
go
got
on.
away with it last season as
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
didn't he?
I know.
Really into that Fulham game.
Mm. And but you know, is to be honest with you, the 958 they don't deserve this abuse because they're the only ones that are trying their best to work with people. I do know they are speaking to the FSA
Yeah, yeah,
on try to reunite the fan base in terms of with obviously Must and a few of the fan groups and stuff, but they can only do what they can work with, if that makes sense. Like they can't force everyone to come in. If they allow us, if others allow them to work with them, then yeah, they can probably unite the fan base. But in my like in 958's defense, they are trying their best in doing everything they can do. And I'm not being on the side of Steve and 58 and stuff. Like I've got my own opinions of their own protests and everything. I don't believe in the protests, but end of the day, they, they are trying their best. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
Look, I think they're trying, and I think for us, we've always said, look, it was 100% sale.
mm, mm,
And the only person who come in that way was Qatar, Sheikh
yeah,
Jassim. So that's
yeah,
why we backed that one. Again, we've
mm,
said it so many times on this podcast. If the roles would reverse, we would have been the other way
yeah,
around. We'd
yeah,
have
yeah,
said
mm,
we
mm,
wanted Jim Ratcliffe rather than
mm,
Qatar doing what it is. But
mm,
what's amazing is some people like some of these accounts. There's this one guy. I think he's blocked me as well, and it's
mm,
funny. He's put just a friendly reminder. I think his name's Chris Winterburn. Just a friendly reminder that, and this is on the back of the 1958 statement. Just a friendly reminder that if Ineos hadn't bought into Manchester United, the club wouldn't have gone to the state of Qatar. The Glazer family were never selling all of it at that time. If anything, he saved the club from Glazer Elliott shit sandwich. That's a lot of bollocks.
what,
And because we know in the SEC findings, and we've put it up enough times now,
mm,
that the Glazers did want to sell. Jim
mm,
did not want to buy.
mm,
Okay, he just wanted majority control,
mm,
and now he got control of it as well. So yeah,
mm.
I think that there's some people who are absolutely stupid.
Yeah, I don't, is I don't understand this narrative of Glazers didn't want to sell because if you read the filing and from what we've seen over the 2 years, they've people have not read the filings.
Well, and that as well, and don't forget, Aki, they've also put in there. I think it's $34 per share. If somebody had offered just $34 per share, they would have sold. So they've even given the share amount,
Mm.
and that they will sell.
I
And
think that
so
was
there's one
30, 35, wasn't it?
34,
35.
35. I'm
Yeah,
sure it was 30. Anyway,
yeah.
not too much. And then there's one more post I want to read out as well. The 1958 were fantastic with their initial work and have some very good points regarding the club's treatment of fans, etc. But drowning out their good points with utter bollocks like some below, they are completely undermining the good headway they previously created.
Mm,
Basically, they're saying the criticism of Ratcliffe by comparing him to a devil and a serial paedophile. I don't get where that's come from. At a time when the whole club is trying to reunite themselves under Amorim is completely backwards. Ratcliffe has made some poor decisions, but it's clear his aim isn't to do with the Glazers' future. Look, again, just on time, just conscious of time. This isn't about shiny new toys. This isn't about spending in the transfer market
mm,
because Glazer's done a fantastic job of spending the money.
yeah.
Have they done it well? No, they haven't. But they
No.
spent plenty of money.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it was just about spending money in the transfer market, then no, and there would be no protest. But like we said, the way they got rid of the staff, whether it's bloated or not, the way they've done it, the segregation of the staff, only the players and the immediate coaches will get free food, but everybody else has to pay for their
Mm,
food. Okay,
mm,
all these cost cut measures that they didn't need to do. Some that they did, agreed. But if they had just bought the club, cleared the debt, and done away with a lot of the penny pinching that they're doing now,
mm,
then you know what? We would have given them grace. So even if they had to up the prices in the stadium,
yeah,
you know what the
yeah,
fans would have said? They would have said, actually, you know what? They got us rid of the Glazers. This
yeah,
debt is no longer of us, so we can see
mm,
a future where we need to go. But okay, fair enough, Jim Ratcliffe, Ineos, you've had to probably overpay, and you have got to increase our prices. But you know
yeah,
what? That's fine.
yeah,
But then again, removing the fans who've been in the same seats for many years just for extra money,
mm,
but not only for extra money, to keep servicing the debt
yeah,
that the Glazers put. So when people, I don't understand why people don't get this concept. The Glazers have put us in debt, and they've ruined other things. They've stopped investment into the club because of this debt, and withdrawing the money and keeping the Glazers there. That is the
mm,
biggest thing. The
yeah,
soul, the heart and soul has been ripped out of the club, and Jim has come and exacerbated that as well.
yeah,
So I wish fans would stop talking about
yeah,
Jim Ratcliffe saving the club. Oh, he put his own money in.
yeah. There's one
That
here.
300.
There's
Sorry,
one
that was say
here.
that. Yeah, go
Yeah.
on.
No, finish off, finish
I
off.
said that 300 million that they were talking about. That was obviously they put that money in, but they also got shares for that. So it wasn't
Yeah,
like he just gave it and got nothing back for it. He's
yeah,
got shares back. So when they do go and sell, he'll make his money back on it.
yeah.
Sorry,
But
Aki, go on. I know.
even that 300 million as well, it was requested by the Glazers.
Yeah,
That's
to
the
put it
thing.
in. Yeah.
But there's one here that's on the comments. I don't really understand why Sir Jim is now the villain instead of the Glazers. He's invested 300 million, something the Glazers have never done. He's appointed recruitment specialists, brand new state of the art training and medical facilities, top analytics, something we have fallen behind on massively, investment in youth, and arguably most importantly, finally abolishing player power. What we're seeing with the bomb squad is a massive step forward.
And yeah, we've been progressively worse under the Ineos group. Finished eighth
I
in the
think
first season and then 15th last season.
I think he's basically air quoted arguably most importantly, yeah, the bomb squad. We've not sold the bomb squad.
And this is what I mean. To go back what we were saying earlier,
Yeah.
these are the kind of decisions that
Mm,
compound. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Devaluing our players, whether the players, the like Garnacho, we all know it should be for 50, 60,
Mm,
70 million pound player. Hey,
mm,
we shouldn't be selling him, but if we are selling him, we should be getting the money for
yeah.
him. Not none of this like last minute deals that they're trying to cut
Mm,
through,
mm,
man. But actually,
mm,
like I says, just obviously conscious time and just having to leave now. Um, Hopefully this kind of makes people understand what it is, about why we're against Radcliffe. Because A, he's kept the Glazers there. He could have bought the squad, the club. We've shown that they could have. It's in the SEC filings. The numerous bad decisions he's made off the pitch, with a lot of these people do agree with as well. So you know what? All power to the 1958. If
yeah.
people can get there, please get there. Let Jim Ratcliffe know, because it's not on what he's been doing.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. Any last thoughts before we leave?
You know what? Again, I repeat what you said. If you can help the 950, if you're around, get down to the protest for the demo and everything. I'm going to try my best to be there. I've already given Steve my word that I'm going to try my best. And if there's anything that we can do in help for the 58, speak about, promote, or whatever, we're all more than happy.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll continue to do that ourselves as
Yeah,
well, definitely.
yeah.
Okay, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Please do like, subscribe, share it, give us your thoughts on this as well, and see you soon.
Yeah.
Cheers.